It's just different.
Yeah. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art. Transmutation and transformation, creating the transportation to transdimensional locations and unify all the nations in the set on top of ocean wave. Tap into the tree of life and light your mind, stop throwing shade. I can alchemize the ether in my breath into the rain. Alkalize the pineal gland that's in the center of my brain. Liquefy the plasma that 3D prints my genetic frame. Exit out the matrix, I ain't playing these pathetic games. Ain't your sheep, you ain't my shepherd, I ain't putting on them deaded chains. Look, you can't see that there's invisible shackles behind your eyes. No critical thinking, no actual factuals behind them lies. Fake news pitiful, they just sinking and drowning, they hypnotize. And I catch, I am you, you are me, so I sympathize. Up the timeline with divine time, I empathize with the limelight. I'ma shine bright to emphasize. Let's create art that transmutes the heart and energize. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art.
Good to mean dark light, I'm feeling my heart light. Keeping that sharp light, cut off our own sights. I don't avoid it, I transmute it. Cue the noise, that shit muted. Don't refuse it, I can use it. Keep it moving and renew it. Executed out chemical movement. Charged up, electrocuted. Ascension moves, self-improvement. Orbit shining, Stanley Kubrick. Transmutation taking place. Connecting every breath I take. Oneness is the saving race. Underlying shape of space. I watch it rise and fall. No sides and walls. All I see and all I saw will dissolve. Alchemize it all. Tap the wells for my wealth. I turn hells to my health. I turn ops to my help. Turn the other to myself. Why they salty like hell? Zero fucks, yeah, well. We get ice cream, yogurt, cheese, and butter from milk. Use it all to my glory, not in any category. Perform the alchemy everywhere, my laboratory.
Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration through creating, unify and make art. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration through creating, unify and make art.
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets, peep it. I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming, 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooding, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. That shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating. Feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, then you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman, chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G. If you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of sins. The simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul. And if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to want to be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.
Greetings, Ken and Lakesh Alakim. Great dawning. Welcome to Aligning with the Evolving Cycles of Time, Knowledge and Meditation session. I am Akil Sharif, Ken 38, the white crystal mirror, and I dedicate in order to reflect universalizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the crystal tone of cooperation, and I am guided by the power of heart, Ashe, and Asheo. Yes, so we are on Aligning with the Cycles, and we have our High Priestess Makaru Amen, who is going to decode this ancient Olmec Mayan cosmology and show us how to put it into play in our everyday, show us how to use it to evolve our experiences. And the question that's being asked today, or this plasma, is, what is your quest in life? Add this to the stage. And I'm going to get us started, put this session in vibrational alignment with the prayer of the 7 galactic directions, and I'll return shortly.
From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may see all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum, Hunabku, Evam Maya, E Maho. Ayum, Hunabku, Evam Maya, E Maho. Ayum, Hunabku, Evam Maya, E Maho.
Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. All right, our mission statement is we are mimic melanated immortals making evolutionary changes. And our mission statement reads, to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings, immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Our mission, I'm gonna read it 2 more times so we can lock it in the heart and mind. Our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings, immortal health, and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. 1 more time. Our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings, immortal health, and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. And this is our melanin frequency visual, which is held every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of which you can actually go get more information on melanatedimmortals.com to find out or to get a link to get on these sessions. And we're in the year of divine power. You know, we send out this frequency again to raise the consciousness of the melanin dominant population. And the affirmation for this year reads, As cosmic legacy holders, we actualize divine power on earth. I'm going to read that 2 more times. As cosmic legacy holders, we actualize divine power on earth. As cosmic legacy holders, we actualize divine power on earth. And this frequency has been transmitting since the fall equinox of 2019. You want to check that out. Again, you can go to melanate'immortals.com and hear the lecture, and then you can join in on the conversation. You can ask questions. It's a great experience. You want to check that out. And this is our kin for this plasma. This kin consists of one of 20 archetypes, and for this particular day is the 16th archetype, and a cosmic tone, and we're on the 12th tone. And this is kin 116. It's the yellow crystal warrior, and the affirmation reads, I dedicate in order to question, universalizing fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the crystal tone of cooperation, and I am guided by the power of elegance. I dedicate in order to question, universalizing fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the crystal tone of cooperation, and I am guided by the power of elegance. I'm going to read that one more time. I dedicate in order to question, universalizing fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the crystal tone of cooperation, and I am guided by the power of elegance. I say, and I say, oh, we're going to find out all about this here. Once High Priestess gets on, she's going to break this down, decode it, and tell us exactly how to apply this into our daily experience. And this is our wave spell, which is we're currently on the red serpent wave spell. As you can see, it's the very first one at the top, and this is like the building blocks for producing this frequency of the red serpent. These 13 tones, so the wave spell consists of these 13 archetypes and these 13 tones, and this is what we produce: this frequency of life force. And so for this particular wave spell, we started on the red magnetic serpent, which was kin 105. You can see that at the top. Then we went to kin 106, which is the white lunar world bridger. And then we have kin 107, which is the blue electric hand. And then we have kin 108, which is the yellow self-existing star. And then kin 109, which is the red overtone moon. Kin 110, which is the white rhythmic dog. Kin 111, the blue resonant monkey. And then we have kin 112, the yellow galactic human. Next to that is kin 113, the red solar skywalker. And then above that is kin 114, the white planetary wizard. And then we have kin 115, which is the blue spectral eagle. And where we are right now, again, the yellow crystal warrior, and that's kin 116. And then tomorrow we'll be on kin 117, the red cosmic earth. That's the red cosmic earth. And this is our Zolkin calendar, which is a spiritual calendar. Just 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this is our Zolkin calendar. And this is our spiritual calendar, and it really activates our creativity, and this represents the time. It's a 260 day, or we like to say plasma, 260 day calendar that represents the time it takes from inception to incarnation. And so when we incarnate on one of these plasmas, this gives us our galactic signature. This is our purpose, which we just read with the yellow warrior. And so we have these 260 kin, and as we go through each one of them, we're activating these, we're activating our memory. These kin, these 260 kin are these expressions of the creator. They're inside of us. Essentially they're who we already are. We're just activating the memory of them. And when we go through this 260 spin calendar, we quantum leap into higher states of consciousness. That's what this does for us. And as you can see where this yellow highlight is, that's where we are on this calendar right now, where it says 116. And as you can see right above that, because this calendar goes down. So it goes, like you see one, you can go all the way down to 20, and then it goes back up. And so we just got out of what you see here. These green squares are the galactic activation portals, and we just got out of a very, very powerful past portals period, basically. And that's where we're taking the good from the past and taking it with us into the future and leaving everything that no longer serves us. And again, so this consists of these 20 archetypes and the 13 tones, and combined they create these 260 kin. And this is the 13 moon calendar. And this is based on a 364 day plus one, which is our day at a time, which represents the time it takes the earth to revolve around the sun. These 13 moons, that's what that is. And this calendar actually starts on July 26th. And you see we're coming up on that pretty quick. So the new cycle is going to begin here really soon. Excuse me. And so we're actually on the 13th moon, which is the cosmic turtle moon. And every moon asks a question. Every moon asks a question that says, how can I expand my love and joy? And this is where, in comparison to the Gregorian calendar, which essentially is man-made calendar. This calendar here is natural time, and by following it, it expands your mind. It gives you everything you need to spark or maybe trigger the things that take you into higher states of consciousness, as opposed to the Gregorian calendar, which there's not much to it. Like, you don't have a question asking you that you ask every day, every plasma. How can I expand my love and joy? You ask this every day so that we can tap into that. And every moon has these 7 radio plasmas. You can see where it says Dali, Celi, Gamma, Kali, Alpha, Limi, and Celio. Well, these plasmas, and again, we like to say plasma as opposed to day because it reminds us of the energy that we can tap into. Plasma is everywhere. Like, we breathe in plasma. Plasma comes from the sun. This is what brings in the that breath. We take that breath and we bring in this information in plasma. Consciousness travels on plasma. So right now we're on Dali, and Dali's connected to your crown chakra. And so we activate the crown chakra. We also activate a certain area in our brain to tap into. But tomorrow we'll be on Celi, and Celi taps into your root chakra. Gamma taps into your third eye chakra. Kali taps into your sacral chakra. Alpha taps into your throat chakra. And Limi, your solar plexus. Celio, your heart chakra. So as we go through these plasmas, this is what we're practicing. You know, you're not gonna, without this 13-month calendar, just following the grid calendar. You know, it's Friday. You're not necessarily thinking, okay, I'm gonna access some knowledge through my crown chakra today. You know, it's just Friday. You know what I mean? So, in every moon has 4 heptads, which consist of I'll say this. So each heptad has a theme in itself, you know, something else to tap into our remembrance, help us tap into our consciousness. And so the first heptad you can see is red, and that's the red heptad, which is where knowledge initiates view. So we're focusing on, you know, gaining new knowledge so that we can go tap into a newer state. You know, we're getting this knowledge to expand our view, to move from an old state to a higher state of consciousness. And then we have the white heptad, where that's humility, refining meditation. That's focusing on, you know, taking the new knowledge we got and just maintaining some humility with it to refine our meditation. And then the blue heptad is where we practice patience, and patience transforms conduct. And then where we are right now, this yellow heptad is where, following that process, is where we gain power from that, and that power ripens the fruit. You know, that's where we reap the benefits from accessing that knowledge and practicing humility and patience. And as you can see, every moon has 28 days, or like I said, plasmas. Every moon has 28 plasmas. It's symmetrical. It flows like, you know, like nature. And as opposed to the grid calendar, you know, where you got 30 days, sometime 31, 28, 29, you know, this is smooth. It flows. This is how we, you know, these are regular patterns to keep our mind regular, keep it balanced. And those 28 days represent the time it takes the moon to evolve around the sun. So this is how we're tapping into these natural cycles. And we are on we're on the plasma 22 in the cosmic moon. So again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plasmas. And then we're going to be on the day at a time, which is going to be on July 25th. And then we'll be in a whole new solar cycle. So you want to tap into this. And this is our reading for the warrior, or the 16th archetype out of the 20, also called the Pathfinder. And it reads, I am the Pathfinder, coded by the yellow warrior. My number is 8 doubled, the high harmonic resonance of 16. I am the Pathfinder of the radial matrix. By the power of intelligence, I cut through ignorance of the illusory world, following the signs left by the world changer. I see ways not yet seen by others. My fearless spirit clears obstacles along the way, so that others may follow paths of increasing intelligence. Wearing the insignia of the 5th sun, I trace the footsteps of the ancient prophet to the temple enclosing the house of the cosmic night. I am the pioneer of the future. All paths do I open to and investigate in the name of cosmic science. Whatever way the path may lead, there will always be another treasury of knowledge to learn anew. To know me is to banish fear and to see your face bright and clear. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. Oh. All right, I'm going to bring these announcements up. Oh. What do I do? There they go. Okay, I'm going to bring these announcements up, and I'll be right back with you. All right, all right. Those were our announcements. And now we have our Fifth Force Oracle reader that's going to give us the Oracle reading of evolution, which is always a pleasure. She does an amazing job of giving us this information. You want to definitely have a pen and a notepad and write down, all of the details that she's about to give, because it definitely will help you on your journey. And I definitely am honored to bring up our Fifth Force Oracle, Kim 181, if you are ready. Give us just a moment and we'll be right back with you.
It's just different.
Yeah. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art. Transmutation and transformation, creating the transportation to transdimensional locations and unify all the nations in the set on top of ocean wave. Tap into the tree of life and light your mind, stop throwing shade. I can alchemize the ether in my breath into the rain. Alkalize the pineal gland that's in the center of my brain. Liquefy the plasma that 3D prints my genetic frame. Exit out the matrix, I ain't playing these pathetic games. Ain't your sheep, you ain't my shepherd, I ain't putting on them deaded chains. Look, you can't see that there's invisible shackles behind your eyes. No critical thinking, no actual factuals behind them lies. Fake news pitiful, they just sinking and drowning, they hypnotize. And like Kesh, I am you, you are me, so I sympathize. Up the timeline with the fine time, I empathize with the limelight. I'ma shine bright to emphasize. Let's create art that transmutes the heart and energize. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art.
You don't mean dark light. I'm feeling my heart light. Keeping that sharp light. Cut off our own sights. I don't avoid it, I transmute it. Kill the noise, that shit muted. Don't refuse it, I can use it. Keep it moving and renew it. Execute it out, chemical movement. Charged up, electrocuted. Ascension music, self-improvement. Orbit shining, Stanley Kubrick. Transmutation taking place, connecting every breath I take. Oneness is the saving grace. Underlying shape the space. I watch it rise and fall, no sides and walls. All I see and all I saw will dissolve, alchemize it all. Tap the wells for my wealth. I turn hells to my health. I turn ops to my help. Turn the other to myself. Why they salty like hell? Zero fucks, yeah, well. We get ice cream, yogurt, cheese, and butter from milk. Use it all to my glory, not in any category. Perform the alchemy everywhere, my laboratory.
Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art. Transmute the dark and the light and the dark, the hate and the love, the mind and the heart. Take apart, then unify and take part. Raise the vibration to create and unify and make art.
Thank you for your patience. Appreciate the patience. And we should be getting ready to have Fifth Force Oracle. If you are ready, I yield the mic.
Peace, peace, and grand rising, everyone. I trust that I am being heard. I am definitely thankful, as always, to be here on these sessions. Thank you, Brother Akil, for always just doing what you do, reflecting your wisdom and sharing your gems with us every time we come here and you go through the, go through where we are on the cycles and everything. I definitely appreciate hearing different ways that you enlighten me on different aspects of where we are. And so I definitely appreciate you, as well as High Priestess and all of you and all of us here in the space. I am Moon Goddess Ambrosia, Kin 181. I am the Fifth Force Oracle and Mimic Priestess Initiate, and also an instructor of the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment, and the founder of Moon Goddess and the Healing Arts. And so I give thanks to this cosmology for all of the ways that it has helped me to strengthen my gifts or my talents, my abilities as an oracle reader, and how the law of time just really helps to bring ourselves into that alignment. I definitely know it from personal integration. And so I am always excited to come up here to share my insights on the Destiny Oracle. And so I am in the process of pulling up my presentation. It was giving me some challenges with uploading it. So I got it uploading as we speak. And so as that is happening, I would like to say my affirmation as Kin 181, the Red Crystal Dragon. I dedicate in order to nurture, universalizing being. I seal the input of birth with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of space. And so Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe Yo. And so it looks like we are all good to go here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So how I like to start off talking about the Destiny Oracle is introducing the concept of seeing yourself as from the synchronaut perspective. And so before I get into that, one thing that I want to say about the Destiny Oracle board is that it provides us with a fifth dimensional template and way of looking at ourselves as multidimensional beings. It helps us to recognize how to really synchronize the different energies of the aspects of ourselves, which includes our emotions, our mental, our physical, our soul, and how we're being spiritually guided. And so when we really allow ourselves to bring this cosmic synergy together, this is how we can really operate in the fullness of our divine expression and be able to share our frequency with other beings and throughout the entire universe. And so here on the right, I have an image of the Oracle board. I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer for us in just a moment here. One thing that I wanted to say or add to us talking about where we are in the cycles, we are on the last heptad of this 13 moon cycle. So within this heptad, what we're focusing on is really tapping into the power of ripening our fruits of everything that we've been coming into throughout this moon. And so one line that stands out in regards to this heptad that's in the prayer of the 7 galactic directions, it says, "May right action reap the harvest. so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. So after gaining all of this wisdom, and as we continue to gain this wisdom throughout this heptad, really look at ways that you can turn this into something fruitful. Really activate that power and operate in that frequency. And so also through us doing that, we're producing those synchronicities to really align ourselves with the vision of how we see ourselves completing out this 13 moon cycle and also starting up the next 13 moon cycle. And so throughout this heptad and on this plasma, we are at the beginning stages of universalizing our fearlessness, or I like to say crystallizing our fearlessness. That's one thing that has helped me to understand the crystal tone is crystallizing it, making it universal, just like a diamond gonna be a diamond, whether it's in the dirt, in space, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna always be this diamond. And so throughout this heptad, really look at and tap into the energy on this plasma so that you can crystallize your fearlessness and then command the breath of spirit to really move you and guide you through that communication. And so that's the main thing that I just wanted to add into where we are on this heptad. And so going into where the kin of the plasma is on the oracle board. Oops, I forgot to move my little arrow here. So just bear with me here. So if you look down in that yellow box on the oracle board and in the bottom right corner, you will see the yellow warrior destiny oracle template. And so on the right side of it, we have the white world bridger, which I also have closer up here on the right side. But just like the basic template of the yellow warrior consists of the soul focus as the yellow warrior, and then the mental body, we have the white world bridger, which helps us to overcome challenges, to strengthen our mindset and fortitude. In the emotional body, we have the red serpent, which is, I look at that as the gas in our car. And then on the right side, we have the, having a whole little brain fart here. We have the blue knight as the physical body. And so the physical body helps support all of the energy that we generate and synchronize throughout connecting with the Destiny Oracle. Now, if you look at the Oracle board in the at the very top, those boxes are blank because it depends on the galactic tone of that particular archetype. So if you look on the right, the kin for this plasma is being guided by the yellow star. So that position above is known as the spirit guide. That is like the compass or the GPS for how we're navigating. And so real quick, let me backtrack here. Going back to the mindset of a synchronaut or that synchronaut perspective, it's really seeing ourselves as a living expression of divine synergy in motion. Through this, we remember our divine purpose so that we can consciously create and fulfill our soul's mission in all spaces of time. So when we are getting into the Destiny Oracle, that is more insight as to why I broke it down in that way, where the kin in the center would be the driver. Then we have our GPS on as the guide. We check our emotional body, our energy body for the gas, make sure we're fueled up and motivated to have that energy to carry out our journey. The mental body is there as that support to strengthen us to stay focused, to make sure that we're staying minded, that, we're not going to allow different blockages to come up or hold us back, or, different obstacles to hold us back from carrying out what we're creating from this energy. And then the physical body that is there to support the physical expression of what we catalyze and put together. And so with that, I want to go through the breakdown of the yellow crystal warrior, just to look at the significance that the yellow crystal warrior is bringing for us on today. So it is a yellow tone. So just like with the yellow heptad, it is focusing on the power that ripens fruit. So as we tap into our power, we get to use that energy to reap the harvest, turn the seed into the fruit so that we can eat the fruit, So that is that aspect of the yellow warrior. And then when we drop down to the archetype of the yellow warrior, it is known as the pathfinder. So this is the power of being, it is our power of tapping into our cosmic intelligence through questioning our fearlessness. So the yellow warrior is saying that, the power that we're ripening as our fruit comes through us tapping into our cosmic or our divine intelligence to ask these questions, to look at how we can become more fearless. And I will never forget that I remember on one line with the cycle sessions previously, it really dawned on me because the HP has said something, then it really clicked in. I was like, oh, the yellow warrior is fearless because it's asking questions. So don't be afraid to ask questions, really tap into that. Any fears that, show up for you, ask it some questions, and through that, some insights will definitely come through for you. And so that aspect just that I just spoke on was talking about the creative power and essence of the yellow warrior itself. And so when we combined it with the galactic tone, for which is the crystal tone, it's talking about universalizing and dedicating ourselves to cooperate. So first, when it comes to this cooperation, we have to cooperate with ourselves as multidimensional beings. The more that we cooperate with ourselves and ask ourselves those questions to question our own fearlessness, this also helps us to cooperate with other people. And so with that, this crystal tone is saying for us to be dedicated to it and to universalize it. Or I like to say to really crystallize this dedication to cooperating with ourselves and cooperating with others as well. And so we could tap into the power of our intelligence to look at ways that we can really operate in that frequency. And that is what we're focusing on today on this plasma. And so what I want to do is really focus on the affirmation of the yellow crystal warrior, which I've included information about the wave spell that we're in, how it operates in the process of how it operates when it comes to processing the energy and the intelligence or the information of the energy, the information that we're gaining from the energy that we're experiencing. And so with that, being that we are in the red serpent wave spell, all of the 13 kin in this wave spell is helping to carry out that particular mission. So the mission of this wave spell is to survive by trusting our instincts so that we can evolve the synchronicities. Or I'll say the equation for synchronicities are our feelings, our thoughts, our perceptions, and the way that we respond to them. And so when we, really evolve ourselves within, we also evolve the way that we operate in that equation for synchronicities so that we can better navigate through our experience. So with the yellow crystal warrior also being a part of this wave spell, is the whole goal of us crystallizing our fearlessness is to evolve these synchronicities so that we can navigate and endure the next stage of, what's coming next in the next wave spell. So I've included that into the affirmation, and it says, I empower, oops, got a typo. It should say I dedicate. So I dedicate my life force in order to question my navigation by universalizing or crystallizing my fearlessness. I seal my output, which is the expression of our divine intelligence, with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of elegance. So, with us being guided by that yellow crystal star, is telling us that with this focus of being dedicated or dedicating our life force to our navigation and questioning how we can crystallize that fearlessness to navigate and express our intelligence through that cooperation, is telling us to guide it towards the power of our elegance, which is to beautify the art and the practice of it and how it's going to be created. And so that's how we're using this Destiny Oracle to guide our fearless, guide the crystallization of our fearlessness towards beautifying our art. So I want to ask all of you, what are you dedicating your life force to? How do you see yourself navigating? What path do you want to go down? And how can you crystallize that fearlessness? How can you cooperate with yourself to crystallize it and really take those actions to express it? To express it. And so I have put together like a one-line statement to help us to hold this focus, which says, I am crystallizing my fearlessness. Hold on one second. I got this arrow thing up in the way. Hold on. Okay, so I'm crystallizing my fearlessness as life force to navigate. So as you crystallize that fearlessness, really integrate that in the force of your life. The life force is what gives us the animation, what helps us to move our body and to do things, right? Because without this life force, we'll just be, like we'll just be the body. So when we crystallize this fearlessness in the energy that we're moving in, so that means moving in that fearlessness and navigating, that's how we can really take forward in or move forward in the way that we are evolving and changing these synchronicities. And so one thing I do not have up here is the full breakdown of the Destiny Oracle, but I will go through that just by using this image right here. So we already talked about what the focus is. We're talking about the direction that we're being guided. Now let's talk about how to fuel ourselves to get into this frequency. And before I do that, there are different ways that you can jump in and really connect with this. So, just even take a moment right now to ask yourself, do you feel more emotionally geared to take actions, or are you more in your mind, or is your physical body showing you something, right? So by you answering that question or recognizing that, that will be your gateway into connecting with the Destiny Oracle, even though I'm going to start by talking about the emotional body. So just, as Brother Akil was saying, maybe that you already been taking notes, because we did go through the announcements and all of those things. So, I trust that you already have some, you're taking some notes there, but this is the time that you can take additional notes to based on where you are and how you find yourself connecting with the Destiny Oracle. So with that, in the emotional body, we have the red lunar serpent. And so the red lunar serpent, again, is that the fuel was giving us that energy to take the action. So one is bringing us, what it's bringing us is to focus on how we're trusting our instincts. Looking at the different dynamics of how I'm gonna just say, are we trusting our instincts or are we not? How are we paying attention to our instincts, or how can we pay attention to our instincts? We want to look at the duality and that nature of us connecting with our instincts, so that we can have more clarity into what areas we may need to practice more fearlessness at. And so by us doing that, we stabilize that trust that we have in our instincts. We're paying more attention to what our body is showing us, because that is how we, connect with trusting our instincts, so that we can look at that and see how we can navigate better in that trust. And so then on the left side, the mental body. The mental body again is there to strengthen us, to keep us focused, so that we don't get beat up in the corner somewhere, and by these different obstacles and challenges that we may encounter when it comes to trusting our instincts and practicing that fearlessness. So the white crystal world bridger in this case is showing us how to equalize the opportunity, or how to equalize the surrendering that is necessary for us to be fearless in trusting our instincts. So by you even asking those questions that answering those questions that I asked when it came to the red serpent, it's going to show you what things you need to let go of that's not serving you in being fearless, and recognize the things that are actually helping you to stay strong and have that mental fortitude, so that you can be fearless. So that is what the white crystal world bridger is bringing to us, so that we can really attract the vision of what we're seeking to accomplish. So we got to be able to crystallize the opportunity that we see ourselves I'll say crystallize the opportunity that we see and envision ourselves creating and accomplishing. Okay, so that is what the white crystal world bridger is bringing for us. And then on the physical aspect of it, we have the blue crystal knight. And so the physical body is there to support that what is being materialized in our physical body, even the way that we're carrying ourselves, and what is going to be reflected around us or produced by us, tapping into all of this energy, or, using this energy as that tool to tap in. So the blue crystal knight is crystallizing our ability to stay connected and cooperate with our intuition. Our intuition is showing us the dream, showing us what the goals are, showing us the divine abundance that awaits us to accept, to make space for. So when we crystallize that, as we are being guided, in that process of, gearing this energy towards our vision and things, being fearless and beautifying that vision, it's definitely going to show us how to really liberate the free will of our spirit to actually bloom that dream and get into the frequency and the, really just operate in carrying out the actions that we need to take to come into our divine abundance. And so that in a nutshell is the oracle reading for the yellow crystal warrior. And one thing that you can look at to check how aligned you are with the frequency is to observe how you are, how would I say this? How you are reflecting it, how you're reflecting this fearlessness by going through those different processes and really putting out that frequency that you want to be reflected back to you in your surroundings, in all places of times, with all people, places, and things. And so, when we really crystallize this fearlessness, we also liberate those reflections and those mirrors around us to continue to show up as those synchronicities to help us to navigate and do what we came here to do. And so with that, that concludes the oracle reading for us on this plasma, the yellow crystal warrior. And I do want to say this affirmation just one more time before I pass it on back and we bring up HP. So if you could join me in reading the affirmation that I have up here. It says, and I'm going to say we, just to lock it all in for all of us. So we dedicate our life force in order to question our navigation. By universalizing, aka crystallizing our fearlessness, we seal our output, which is our expression of cosmic and divine intelligence, with the crystal tone of cooperation, cooperating with ourselves, with each other. And we are guided by our own power, or guided by our power of elegance to beautify the arts. And so with that, I say Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe Yo. We are crystallizing our fearlessness so that we can move in the frequency of our life force and navigate in our evolution. And so I love y'all. Stay peace. In La Cash a la Ken. May that we all enjoy our creation in every single moment of now. And I will be talking to y'all in the chat. Okay, and I'm about to put my seatbelt on. Y'all know how I do when HP come on up here. So I'm going to go get me some water, put my seatbelt on. May that you all continue to take your notes and all of those great things. And with that, I'll holler at y'all later in the chat. So stay peace. Hey, HP, I saw you. Jeez.
HP jumping on too early. That was an excellent breakdown. Thank you, Moon Goddess. That was worthy of a replay in itself. So many gems. So many gems in that. All right, let me do this. Okay. So y'all know what time it is. HP is like a surgeon with this cosmology. She's gonna decode and break down and chop it up and give you exactly what you need to flow through this here rotation, this here plasma. You know, obviously, you know, Moon Goddess just gave you a heavy dose of what you need, but now, you finna get it. You finna get it. You know what I'm saying? Do like Ambrosia said, put that seatbelt on. Anyhow, I'm really excited. I'm really grateful to bring up our master teacher, High Priestess, and I yield the mic.
The High Priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. The High Priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness. The High Priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. The High Priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness.
All right. Greetings. Am I being heard? I think I am. Let's see. Am I being heard? All right. So, great dawning. Welcome everyone again to Aligning with the Cycles. And of course, I'm very excited to be here. I'm just always excited for no reason or for all the reasons, right? Whichever. Just pick one. So, yes. And thank you so much, Brother Akil, for being the host here and being so dedicated to this. As of course you are, because you're Crystal Tone. That's what y'all do, right? You just dedicate, right? So thank you so much for that. Also, Moon Goddess, Ambrosia, the Fifth Force Oracle. Thank you so much for doing the Oracle. And, definitely, I like to encourage y'all to pay attention to what's being said in the beginning when Brother Akil comes on and breaks down the different cycles, the different areas that we're in, because these are cycles within cycles within cycles. Right. And so part of this session is for us to understand and overstand and understand these various cycles that we're in. And then also to break down these archetypes, the destiny cross, the wave spells, whatever. It takes a while to really, really get it. Right. And when you hear it in all of these different ways with these different frequencies, then you start to have your ahas, right? So definitely you want to pay attention to those things. I thank y'all so much for being here. And let's get into it. And look, I didn't even know I came up here. I don't know how to work this thing, right? This is new. So I was just sitting there. I was looking at me down in the room. I didn't know I was up here. So y'all know I'm crazy. So anyway, I figure it out. So yes. So very, very excited. We just closed out the past portals. And it really, really has been awesome. Awesome. I love this period, right? I love the space of when we get into the portals, because we go into, this is my perspective, a period of attunement. And the reason I say that is because if you look here, with the Zokin, I took the Zokin and just kind of broke it down into these life cycles. And we're in the third one. There are 5 of those cycles. And we're in the third cycle, which is kind of the resonance, right? It holds the frequency, right? You have the first 2, right? Where we started with kin number 1, we started the Zokin all over. Now, let me say, and I just listened to the way I said it. We're not necessarily starting it all over, right? It evolves, because the next time we go to kin 1, it's not going to be in the same moon, in the same year, in the same solar cycle. You see what I'm saying? It's more of a spiral. So every time we go through one of these 260 spins, there is an evolution, right? There is an upgrade. And so one of the things we always say is you want to pay attention to where you are in these cycles. If this is your first time going through a 260 spin and really, really paying close attention, the next 260 spin, when you get right here at the period of resonance, think about where you were in that last cycle. This is why we created that journal, right? The journal is almost 300 and something pages. And it doesn't have any dates on it, but it does have the cycles, and you can journal each of these cycles and then and then go back and look and say, ooh, you know what? And I love it because I used to keep what I call the what was that thing called? I called it like a life force list. And every time I get into the portals, I would go and look to see where I had advanced, right? Because we're in resonance now. So we're basically pulling in the past and the future in this cycle all at once, right? Channeling these energies and determining, because that fourth cycle, we go into evolution, right? So the first two, we looked at our new being, our new paradigm, right? And then when we had the chance to look at that, and like I always say, with that first cycle, it tells you what the whole thing's gonna do. Oh yeah, child, you're gonna go into this new paradigm and you're gonna see, child, and you're gonna live this enlightened life. That's how it ends, right? You're gonna go into there, you're gonna learn that who you really are, and that you stand beyond time. You are timelessness. You get to choose and decide and determine the activities that you're going to receive, be receptive to, right? And then that the third one tells you, then says, yep, and you're gonna pull all that into your avatar, all of the knowledge and wisdom, and you're going to remain whole and accomplish your mission, your purpose, your state of being on earth. Like everybody doesn't, I always say this, we don't always have to have some grandiose mission and, and heal the world. It may be, some of us may just be here to experience ourselves. Like it could be real simple to experience yourself as God on earth with all of your faculties. And wherever that takes you, it takes you. Because see, I love it because we're talking about the Pathfinder today, right? And you allow that to just carry you where you want to be. But you are in a pure state of being, right? That could be the purpose, right? So let me go. Let me, for the blue hand, get me talking about that, right? And so then, and then we learn how that we are the enlightened one. And we came here to live an enlightened life, not a suffering life, not pain and suffering. That's not the only thing that we can have. And the state of being that we have been programmed to is not the only state of being. Right? We're gonna talk about that a little bit in a minute. Let me keep going. So and if I don't come back, y'all remind me. But I usually come back, right? I go all the way over there and then I come back. But so stay with me, right? So then and then the second period, we get to an expansion of our destiny. Why? Because we have evolved. We've gone through a new state of being. And so now we get a new view of our destiny. That starts off the second period, that starts with the Skywalker, right? And ends, and I say now, this is it's our prophecy. I always talk about that one as that's our replica of what the story of the guy in the Bible, right, who had a prophecy about him, and then everybody got that, right? You got John the Baptist, that's the prophet, right? That tells you this is gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen and how it's gonna be. You're gonna go into deathlessness. You're gonna get resurrected, and then you're gonna have influence on the earth. That's that second period. Everybody got that, right? And so if you walk through it that way, right? And why, let me go back to why did I say that, right? Remember that first cycle, I said that first cycle, the last wave spell in there is the wave spell of the yellow sun, which is the enlightened one. And that enlightened one represents a Christ-like figure, a Buddha, an Asar, Heru, right? And Aset, right? I think that, it's sometimes I get challenged with the female version of that, because I think that there's a different path. It's a different way, right? We've been given the male version of what it's like to be the enlightened one and to walk the path and everything, but we have not necessarily been given that same story or collaborative story of what that looks like in the female version. I think it's different. I have another story. Y'all want to hear about it? We gonna talk about it. We have something coming up Sunday with She Who Remembers, and we have a small group of women that are meeting up to talk about that, right? The reawakening. And so definitely check that out. But anyway, let me go back. So when we ended that first cycle, we learned that we are the enlightened one in whatever form that is. So then we go into the prophecy that tells us what's going to happen. What happens to the enlightened ones on earth? Right? They have prophecy. They go into deathlessness because they are immortal anyway, and they get resurrected and they have influence on the earth. Right? Wise dominion and free will. And then we go into attuning and channeling and being in the spirit of what that is. And we get to look at all of the dimensions. We get to go through all of the past portals and strengthen our force of life with this knowledge, pulling in divine instincts, being super vital, survive. Right? And then being able, because like, let me I'll ask in the chat, how many people, oh, and hey, I know a lot of people say hi to me. Hey, y'all. Okay. So sometimes I don't look at the chat because it get me all on something else, right? But but I just saw a bunch of people just say hi. So what's up? Right. So how many people have had these throughout this period of these past portals, have had flashes of the past, thoughts that you haven't had in a long time, and they just come in, right? I call them echoes. These are the echoes, right, that come in, and you're just like, okay. Some of them you let them pass, right? Because they are just, because what's happening is you're making a determination of if this thing is still in the past, or is it something like you may have also, it's not always the bad things, right? Or in quote bad, right? Things. It may have been something that you forgot about. Right? Because what's the red serpent? Remembrance. Right? So it's not always, when you remember the past, it's not necessarily just the bad things. It may be something that you forgot about and you need to bring forward. Bring that Sankofa. Bring it forward. Right? So that now you can advance that thing. One of the things, you may have forgotten about it because you were so focused on your problems, your situations, your circumstances, your concerns, your worries, or as we like to say, your traumas, dramas, and karmas. And so that thing that you should have been focused on, right? It came back in these past portals because you've cleared out you've made space to now allow that to blossom, because that's what's going to happen in those future portals, right? Where it needs to be. So Pay attention to those things too, because this next cycle that we're going in, this next wave spell, right? We're going to be going into this wave spell. We're going to be able to look at the truth, literally. That's the mirror wave spell. You're going to look in the mirror and you're going to see. You know, as they say, you're going to F around and find out, right? What you really did in these past portals. Right? So we're here, we're in this page, and then let me change this and show you what it looks like in a closer view, this period of resonance where we are targeting our life force. And I like to, you know, I'm always talking about the etymology of words, right? So target is a shield. It literally is it means a shield, or to point something. It means to point something in a specific direction. But the etymology of the word target, targe, is a shield, right? So we are shielding our force of life, right? And force, the etymology of the word force, means strong, right? So we are literally strengthening this and shielding this life that we have, because we decided that we are coming in this form at this time, in a period to remember that we are divinity on earth, that we are a species of God, a species of the Creator, a species of Most High, a species of divine entity. And this is what it looks like when we literally look in the mirror. We're looking at God, Creator, divine being, Most High. That's our species. And so what do when people do studies on different species, they can tell you exactly what those species do, right? Trees are a species. They do things that trees do. I can't cuss on YouTube, at least not a lot. So y'all know what I usually say, right? So I'm being nice, we live. So I had to be good. All right. So okay, ants do things that ants do. So what do gods do? What do creators do? What do divine beings do? Divine entities. What do those species do? Who got a book to tell us what that is? Right? We've been told we're only human. But what is a human? Or is it just a form? And that when the spirit takes form, when the species of God takes form and wants to feel itself, right? It comes in this formation. So maybe the very definition of human also needs to expand into a divine being. Because every cell, you can take your eyelash, you know what I'm saying? One of these. It has all of the information, metaphysical information about who you are and what you came here to do. It's time for us to expand and be the species that we are. Right? Strengthening our life force, shielding ourselves to, just like, you know, as they say with the tunnel vision, trees have tunnel vision. They do things that trees do. When we gonna get that tunnel vision? Right? Because we think that Okay, I'm only human, I make mistakes, I'm not perfect, all of these different things. That's a program. What does it mean to be perfect? How you know you're not perfect? Oh, because you trip and fall and you make mistakes and you do this. Again, I think it's a program, it's a calculation. It's a definition that everybody just agreed with. And why is that a thing? Right? I know this. Look, we on the quest, right? We on them questions. Why is that a thing? Why is there a measure? And all of the measures are two things, right? Left, right, up, down, good, bad. They're all two-dimensional. It's a program. I used to have a slide where I showed the atom, right? And the atom is 3 dimensions. It's not 2. Right? I know a lot of us, we science nerds out here, right? And you have the center, the nucleus of an atom is a proton and a neutron. A proton has a positive charge, neutron has no charge, it's neutral. When those two come together, they attract electrons. Right? So there are 3 things that make up this God body, this so-called human form. 3, not 2. So when the program says, okay, it's either this or that, I like that song, right? Is it we can go with this and you can go with that. Right. I think you go with this because it's okay. Never mind. Anyway, so we're not necessarily given 3 options in most cases. So what it does is it tethers us to make a 2-dimensional decision in life. That's not shielding the strength of who we really are. It's leaving out the neutrality. And this is my perspective. Where does the neutrality put you? In the perspective of an observer. The one who can observe, okay, if I do this, this is what's going to happen. And if I do that, this is what's going to happen. And you can watch yourself while you're doing it. You're using all 3 dimensions. And then while you're watching yourself do it, right, then you can even say, hey, wait a minute, there's another one of me. So, okay, there's another one watching the watcher. 4 dimensions. Oh man, and then there's some other kind of energy that's kind of like not even attached to that, but it's also here, and that's me too, a 5th dimension. Okay, and then there is some more behind that that's kind of like not, might not be created yet, but it's still created. And then and then whatever the 1800 dimension, right? We got to get out of 2 dimensions to get to the other ones. We literally, in this formation, if we're so, sometimes we get stuck and confused and thinking, why am I here? What did I do? Blah, blah, blah. 2-dimensional thinking. It's a program, though. It's not to beat yourself up. Just catch yourself when you're in it. And who's the one catching itself? That 3rd one. See, people want to be so quick to be finished with the earthly realm, right? We talk about it as if the planet itself got a problem. No, it's the program of the beings on the planet. The planet can support all dimensions because it's in the cosmos. It's already in the cosmos. It's already galactic and solar and cosmic and everything. It's already, it got the memo. The planet itself has the memo that we don't have yet. Right? So it's not the planet. It's the program. And so when we shield our force of life and attune it to our being super vital, right? You cannot be super vital in 2 dimensions because you can't see yourself. Right? It's good or bad, left, right, up, down, side, side. That 3rd dimension allows you to look at your body, look at your mind, look at your spirit. And then there's like then you get tethered to, like we said, it's a spiral. Then you get tethered to the metaphysics of that. And then the next metaphysics. And then the next metaphysics, right? Here's the fearlessness. Allow yourself to think about something different. I do this all the time and I say it all the time. Challenge even what you think you know at your highest. You so, like how we be popping our collars. I'm talking about me, so don't get offended, right? Let me talk about me, right? Be popping our collars because we so deep. We so man, look, I feel like, whoa, I'm so I'm just deep. I'm so spiritual, right? I'm so spiritual and divine, right? Challenge all of that, right? Because if you are, you are. It ain't gonna go nowhere with a challenge. It's going nowhere. It's not gonna do nothing but stay right where it is, right? And be so okay. But let me tell you what happens each and every time I challenge it. I'm not challenging it to, put myself down. I'm doing it to expand. I learned something new. Right? The more you surrender to what you don't know, the more you know, right? Because when you don't know it, the unknown says, oh, here, you need to know this. See how that works? But it's a surrendering. You can't go in there with your chest puffed up with everything you know. And I'm this and I'm that and I'm so and so, right? If y'all old school, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so right, you can't go. It's not you. All you gonna know is what you already know. What do you hear the gurus say all of the time? Right? The more that we know, the more that we realize what we don't know. That there's so much that we don't know. And then that energy then starts to draw in more that you need to know. Right? So, all right, let's go. So we're here in the serpent wave spell, and this is in this cycle, right? We're about to complete the cycle of this divine super vitality and divine instinct, right? That's going to strengthen our life. Force means strong, right? And when we're talking about the life, we're talking about the life, not the program that says, oh, because, a lot of times when people say, oh, well, that's just life. What is it? It's always something that's uncomfortable when they say, well, that's just life. Notice that. And you feel like, here's the other thing. This is how we know. Here's the other program that when something joyful happens, you say you've been blessed. You understand that? You've been blessed because something joyful happens. How about that? Excuse me, can I say shit? Okay, that shit just happen all the time. Why you got to be blessed and highly favored? How come that is just not the so-called norm or natural? Why is it when you experience things that are uncomfortable, right? That's just life. But if all your stuff just starts synchronizing and lining up the way it's supposed to, that's not just life, right? That's you blessed and highly favored. You see it? You see how that don't make no sense? It's a program. Somebody said that's what it is. What if everything in nature, and let me tell you, this is how you know you ain't got to believe nobody's perspective. Look outside. Look in your body and look in the cosmos. Is the earth blessed and highly favored because it turns every approximately every 24 hours, and the sun is always shining? Are birds blessed and highly favored because they get to eat worms every single day? Right? Or is that just natural? It's just natural for grass to grow. It's just natural, right? For a squirrel to get a nut. So how come it's not just natural for us to have the same experience? We got to shift and we're going to talk about this, our intelligence. Our intel is wrong. We're using the wrong intel, the wrong program that says we get a reward. We're rewarded, like, because when they use that term blessed and highly favored, that means you get a reward because you've been so good. Why I'm just saying, out in nature, are they being rewarded, or it's just natural? This stuff is natural. It might not be normal, but it's natural. And if you shift your intel, your intelligence to a different path, we on the Pathfinder, that says I'm doing the same thing the trees are doing as a divine being on earth. I'm doing the same thing ants are doing. I'm doing the same thing that the particles in the air are doing. The fish in the water are doing. So it's natural for me too to have everything that I need and maybe desire. I might want a little extra. I can have it, and it's not a reward because I'm so spiritual. Right? Yeah. I'm so divine. I'm so pure. That's not a reward. It's natural. So, we're talking about when we're talking about this super vitality and life force, we're talking about being in a natural state of our species. And everything on earth in its natural state it is unnatural if a bird don't find a worm. It's unnatural, right? For there to be a drought or something, and the animals, but what do? They move. The animals be like, oh, I'm not about to be up in here. I'm leaving. I got to find another water source. I got to find something else because it's unnatural. And usually when they are in those environments, like the plastics in the ocean and all of that stuff, and the fish is jumping out of the water because of the pollution, it's because it's unnatural. Their natural state is abundance. Everything is always available for them. They don't have to do nothing special. They don't have to be more, they ain't got to hustle more than anybody. They ain't got to go hard at, the big whales where they eating a little, I forget those little fish that they eat. You see how many of them fish are? And it's still a million gazillion of them. After a whale just opens up the mouth, his or her mouth, right, and just swallows up the whole thing. Right? Is the whale blessed and highly favored? Or is that just natural? The natural state of the ocean is unnatural when that's not there. If we shift our path, our journey to really being in that state and seeing that that is also us. We live like that too. We have that is the natural state of being a divine being on earth. And even more so, shift your intellect, your intel. You're not blessed. You're not happy. You don't get rewards. That's natural. That's your true stuff coming in. And it should just be, more and more and more and more. Right? We're going to find out the truth about that when we go into this mirror wave spell, right? The true order and the true reflection of our life is going to show up in this mirror wave spell, or give us a perspective of what it looks like. Right? Then we're going to go into the monkey wave spell and be able to look at the magic. Now, remember, I said we change our mind. See, this Pathfinder is telling us something. This yellow warrior is telling us we change our mind, right? We get to that monkey wave spell. We're not going through this monkey wave spell trying to fight illusions. No, we got on earth. We got full access. If the program can hypnotize everybody and have everybody thinking a certain way, and take away our third dimension, then guess what we can do? We don't need no middleman no more. We're going to just attach ourselves right to the same source, which is source, and create our own magic, our own imagination. Right? We're going to use our own imagination and then determine what we want to see on this work, because we're using our third dimension from this perspective, right? I like to say when the mirror reflects, the mirror wave spell is showing us, as they say, as above, so below. When we go into the mirror, it's as above, as below, so above. Because we got down here too. So we just gonna make sure, okay, we doing the same thing. Everybody on the same page. Okay. Right. And then we go into this magic. Yep. And then, I see you. I see you, Zakia. Reward. Ooh. Come through. Yep. You think it's a reward? You in prison. That's why I love it. Check out the chat if you ain't see that. That's what's up. To be a prisoner again, right? Oh man. So we go into this magic, right? And this is our magic. We play with these illusions. We sit there and we say, you know what? Put this over here and that over there and this over there. But you have to gain your confidence in order to do that. How do you do that? With having the proper intel. That's what we're talking about today. Intellect, divine, cosmic intelligence. We haven't been living naturally if we think we get rewards We in prison again. Right? When we just need to be natural. Who want to just not have to? Just think about right here, right now. Whatever is going on in your life or the life that you have lived. And at this point, right, without even thinking, I bet everybody on here and say, you know what? I wish it was just, let's use the word easy. Right? That we would just naturally attract the people, places, and things that are here to support us and to carry us on this journey, or that journey with us. Right? Unencumbered, not under stress. But this is just natural. It's natural to have whatever this world uses for commerce. If there's still commerce, right? We don't have to have commerce. But right now we got commerce. That's a whole nother story. Okay. we do commerce. So whatever that is, it happens naturally. Right? We would naturally, in quote, I'm going to use work based on our purpose. So, like some people say, y'all lazy, y'all hoteps, y'all lazy, y'all don't want to work. Y'all don't want, y'all don't want to go out there and make no money and make this stuff happen. No, we just want to be on purpose. And when you're on your purpose, it's 24/7. Sometimes you don't sleep, you don't eat, you just do what you do, and you are constantly regenerating your force of life. You don't get tired. You make yourself go to sleep. You be like, all right, let me stop. I'm gonna go to sleep. Right? I could talk all day. I could do this. Literally, I could do this all day. I get amplified. Like sometimes when we have nighttime sessions, I have to figure out something to keep me from pacing the room all night. When I set up, sometimes I'll look at my schedule and I'll have, I might have a consultation, a reading, and then I got a session and I got to do this and I got to do this. And I'll be like, whoa, my God, I'm going to put all this stuff together. But you know what, man, I'm telling you, I'm almost like a child when you get them some candy. I'm hyped. I can go all day. I have to stop myself. That's purpose. That's natural. Right? So we're not lazy. We just want to be on purpose and do what we have to do without having to stop and think, oh, shoot, did I make any money with all that damn talking I was doing? Did some donations come in? I don't want to think about that. They just need to be in. So when I have to go and do and, eat and take care of my children and pay bills, it's just there. I don't want to have to think about that stuff. I don't. It's unnatural sometimes to have to sit down and say, oh, shit, okay. Whew, I got this coming up. What can I do? Right? It takes me out of the force of life. At least that's the way. If I have to use, let me say it this way. If I have to use the program. So really, a lot of us, what we're doing here is learning and strengthening our ability to operate in these multiple dimensions, even in the second dimension that says left, right, up, down, blah, 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 but from the position of source. Right? And I like using the word resource now, right? Being source again when we have to navigate in commerce, and being source again when we have to navigate with people, places, and things. Navigate again when we have to deal with commerce, traumas, and dramas. But we're always source. And that's a practice. Right? That's what this seed wave spell is going to show us, how to shield your awareness to just that, and you'll see it blossom. That's it. You always source. It ain't nothing else to say. It ain't nothing else to do. It's just a practice. Take over your program. Right? Do not here's another thing. Here's another thing of, I'll talk about me, right? The experience that I have had with this is that so yeah, I may have the knowledge, hey, yeah, I'm God, and I'm, the creator on earth, I'm divine mother, and this, all of these different things, right? Whatever. All the whispers that the ancestors have told us in our ears. And what has happened, what I have experienced, right, in going through this process, is that I would take that and then go into the program and try to run it from there. You see? And using the confounds of the program to operate as God in the matrix instead of beyond it. Right? And so that's where we get stuck. That's where then now we start questioning, well, how come this hasn't worked for me? How come I'm like this? How come, I don't have a partner? How come I don't have no money? How come my body hurts and aches, and I got diagnoses, and I got my hair is falling out, I'm aging, end quote. And all of these different things that we experience. Because our intel is flawed in a sense. It's still using the program. So we know what we know, but then we go and try to be it in the program instead of being on the outside. Right? And allowing the natural frequencies to flow everywhere. It doesn't matter if there's a program and you God. Right? You are multidimensional, and so it flows throughout everything in all of the spaces that you're in. Right? So let's talk about this from the perspective of the warrior, even though we've probably been doing that the whole time, right? We dedicate in order to question, universalizing fearlessness. We seal the output of intelligence with a crystal tone of cooperation. We're guided by the power of elegance, right? So this warrior been talking, man. Come on, right? So we dedicate. Right. And I say that the yellow crystal warrior solidifies our sacred journey of life. It makes it solid. Make sure we don't forget who we are. Right. So we dedicate ourselves to it. We make it sacred. Dedicate, look it up, means to make sacred. That's why I always, joke around with the crystal tones, right? They make everything sacred, including what they gonna eat. I don't know about that. We say, hey, you want to go here? I don't know. I'm talking about my son. I don't know, maybe. I'm like, man, listen, I'm just going to keep it moving, okay? You let me know when you want to eat. I can't do this with you today. But they make it sacred, right? And when we have, that's the specialty of the crystal tones. But when we have the opportunity to operate in this frequency, right, we make it sacred. Our quest, in order to question, what's a question? A quest. You're trying to find something out. You're on a quest to find out the truth about you and your existence, right? And on this one, we're talking about 116, the truth about your life, right? So we go here, universalizing fearlessness. So we make sacred this quest, universe, one verse, free from fear. We're not afraid to question, hey, am I in the program trying to make God work in the program, or is God just me as God always working? It no matter, it can be multiple programs. I'm gonna be the same thing in all of them. Free from fear. I can question myself. I can question my intellect. I can question where I've been. I'm not offended by that. I want to know what I don't know. I think I'm pretty dope. You ain't got to lose that either, right? You think you're dope? Okay. In addition to, that's always that's what you have to do every time. Don't take away. In addition to, as dope as you are right here, right now, what else can you know? It might feel like and seem like you just, oh man, I've done so much work on myself. I just know, man, and I'm loving this experience. Like, it's nothing wrong. You don't take it away. Don't take it away. If you be like, it's more, let me find out. Really? You know, like I was having this conversation with someone, and I said, listen, you can't pay me to be who I was last year. Right? And I thought I was the shit last year, right? But you can't pay me to be her. I'm done. And I'll probably say the same thing next year, right? You can't pay me to do it. No, I will not go back. Right? We seal the output of intelligence. So we put out our inner telling. Right? The truth. Our true intellect, our true energy. That which is natural. What's normal is to be blessed and highly favored, right? You get that reward, right? You in prison, you got, because you work to get treats. When the natural state of being is just always being treated. You always have access to everything. It's an alignment issue. We're aligning with that program that says survival of the fittest. Right? They even use birds. They be different. The early bird gets the worms. I be seeing birds getting worms at 2:30. They get worms. That's just not true. That the early bird gets the worm. Right? Well, let me say, in addition to the early bird getting the worm, the afternoon ones get them, the late night ones get them. Like, they all get them. In addition to, right? You're a hustler, you like hustling, that's okay. In addition to, the natural state of your hustling is free flowing. So I ain't gonna, let me not take away the hustle. If you want, that's how you know, that's what you tune into. Just make it natural. It's natural for you to, and you love it. You out there, you're a salesperson and somebody, you know, and you love what you're selling, but you naturally are inclined to get the people who need what you have. It's natural. You don't have to go and stress every time you got to pay a bill. I'm talking from experience. Right? So we put out this inner telling, right? And that's like a pulse, you know, a radar that's connecting us with the natural state of our being. The truth about our metaphysical properties, right? With the crystal tone of cooperation, with divine cooperation, right? Everything is aligned. The ancestors, the earth, the sun, the insects, the birds, the trees, the air, earth, wind, fire, spirit, the ethers, anything, things known and unknown. They are all cooperating with our being. Everything is in alignment. Right? That's our intel. And that because it's coming from all places, not just the program. You see what I'm saying? Not just the program. It's coming from the universe is constantly evolving. We just evolved on this cycle. It's called aligning with the evolving cycles of time. We just evolved. So it's new intel always coming in. It's not just a program. A program has limits. We're not on no program getting rewarded for things that we do. That is a program. That's how you train people. Think about, how do you train? I don't have pets, but I didn't watch some stuff, so y'all can correct me, right? But what do they do when they training dogs or any animal, right? What happens when they if you trying to train a horse or a dog or something to be in a pageant, right? When they go and they jump over the hurdle and they go through the thing and they come back around, what do they have? The Scooby snacks in their hand, right? They get a reward. Do we need that? Like, think about that. Think about, how dare you treat a divine entity on earth that came down here as God, for God, being God, on a mission with permission to help shift this consciousness. And we getting Scooby snacks because we performed something. And say, okay, jump through this other hoop, and I'm going to give you 2 when you learn how to do that and you keep doing it over and over again. That's what it's like being on the program. Right? When you got the whole universe with you for your particular part in this mission. You the one. How about you the one giving the snacks? Right? What we training? Why are we allowing ourselves to be trained like that? We need to come outside of that. That's why I say challenge everything. Because when you come outside, you say, "Ooh, you know what? I don't even know what's going to happen today." And that's okay. Or Let me talk, because that might work for the wind, the winds. We like that. We'd be like, ooh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Ooh, let's see. Right? Some of y'all, that might make y'all nervous. That's okay. What am I gonna say? In addition to what you have planned, how about what you have planned is gonna go as planned? That's your true nature. Right? And you're not going to say, oh, well, and you're not going to think just because everything went as planned that you got a reward, that you blessed and highly favored because everything went to plan. No, it's supposed to, based on who you are, based on you being God on earth, based on that being your species. That's your specialty. That ain't it's supposed to happen like that all the time. Right? Those of us who like to go by the wind, you know what I'm saying? We just, look at that. Oh, wow. Ooh, that, ooh, this and that. It's supposed to be like that all the time. That's our plan too. However you are. Just don't base it on the program. That's all. That's what we're saying here on Ken 116, right? And we're guided by the power of elegance, right? We're led to follow our art. That's what I just said. Whatever your art is, it's okay if you're that person who stays in the ethers. You love it there. Okay. And so think about, all right, in addition to that, like, don't think about that as a thing that, makes you a person that people say is lazy. You don't want to work. You don't want to do that. Okay. Well, how about that is your divine design on earth? And it doesn't fit into the program. It never did. And that's okay. I said this the last time. I've been saying this for a while. A lot of times when you're stuck in something, the way that the program tells us to look at that is these are failures. These are you're a misfit. You are, you the black sheep, whatever. These are all things I've said. Right? But what about you've been building up your spiritual muscle, your divine muscle, your God self this whole time? When looking at it that way, that because you said you God on earth, you're in the species of God, it started to disconnect you from that program. And then you keep trying to go back up over there in it, right? Because you need to get some money. You keep going back in there because you got to deal with relationships. You keep going back over there because of your health. Right? And nature is your true nature is pulling you in a different direction. You have to trust, divine trust. That's what it is. And when you have that and you experience it over and over and over again based on who you are, right? Then you build up your confidence. That's how you can stand in your intellect, your intelligence, and allow you to move forward, right? So let's look at this real quick, right? Look at what the Yellow Warrior channels are. I was just going there. Your love and loyalty, right? And it's in love with being God on earth, right? And having the journey, the path, the experience, and the strength and the intellect to be on that quest, not as a failure, not as a F up, not as a misfit. No, you ain't no misfit. You fit in to your frequency. Right? Remembering, right? Because here go the mental body. The mental body of the warrior is storage. What's storage? It remembers how to bridge those worlds so you don't have to be on the program. You just bridge the world. When you need to go over here in the program and do what you got to do, you just bridge the world, but you always stay you. You need to bridge and go get some opportunities, whatever, but you always you. Free from illusions. It says bridge worlds and opportunities free from the illusions and delusions, seclusions. Right? I go on and on, right? Okay, all right. Then look at here. What wave spell are we in? The red serpent, right? The way that the warrior moves, the way that it emotes, it gets in motion is through the life force, right? Being super vital and having divine instinct, having a strength of life. Why? Because it's feeding, it knows who it is. It's feeding off of the force of life of a divine entity on earth who does not think in 2 dimensions. Right? To be truly metaphysical, we at least got to go to 3, because the 3rd one connects you to the 4th. Right? The 4th connects you to the 5th, and the 5th connects you to the 18th. Right? Then we have the dream state, the abundance. What have I been talking about the whole time? The warrior shows up in the abundance of the Akashic records, the abundance of everything. Right? With the intuition, the inner, what did we say? The inner telling, the intellect of the Akasha. That's the physical body, the planetary partner of the warrior. And it's putting it in, right? It's input. It's putting in this intel. And if you think about where the warrior is in how the frequencies of the vibrations of how the archetypes go, right? It's the one that leads to the path of what's next, evolution. Right? Tomorrow we're going to be on cosmic evolution. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. That's the next step, transcending synchronicity. I said it's natural. It's supposed to be like that. You supposed to be blessed and highly favored, right? All day, every day. And if you're not, something wrong. So it's a there's something that unnatural happened. You're not that because you did something. And so you get to get pushed ahead of everything else. That is the true nature of the universe. Right? So that's the yellow warrior, right? Oh, I don't think I changed the question. I didn't. Okay, so it's gonna be the question. I ain't gonna do it, right? Because I'm gonna have to hear about it. Somebody gonna tell me about it later. You need to change that question every time, right? And I didn't do it. So anyway, it definitely has been my honor and my pleasure. I love y'all. And on this plasma, let's think about what quest we are on. And is it the sacred one? Is that what we are aligning with? Right? So I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Definitely join us. Let's see. On Sunday, we have really a jam-packed day on Sunday. Starting at 9:00. That's when we're going to do our She Who Remembers. It's only going to be about an hour 15 minutes at the most, right? Because I know a lot of people get on Amplify Your Purpose, right? But then we also have our the Melanin Frequency. Then we also had a chant call that evening. And then definitely I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at the Day Out of Time. Definitely holler at me or go to the website. I'm gonna put it in here for more information. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Hotel.
Gratitude, HP. Excellent session. Y'all should like this video. You should share it with like-minded individuals. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you should do that as well. Go and check out melanatedimmortals.com and see what else is going on, and hey, you like this enough, donate, give a little something, go a long way. Y'all have an amazing heptad, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets. Peep it, I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming. 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooding, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. That shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating. Feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, then you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G. If you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of sins. The simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul. And if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.